What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 784th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity. It is Wednesday, September 22nd of 2021. It is good to have you in this afternoon. As you guys can see, I am joined by my furry purring friend. Oh, okay, he's getting a little, Walter's getting a little restless. What's up, Walter? Say hi to the camera. So Walter is saying hi to the camera. Yep, there he goes. He usually does, he usually calms down, but there's a lot going on right now. Looks like he's going to jump down. If the stream gets cut off for any reason, that is 100% all Walter. Hashtag Walter did it, and it is what it is. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to all of you guys in the chat. We are streaming, as always, live to Facebook, MGTOW.tv, Manosphere.tv, YouTube, Twitch, and of course in crystal clear high-resolution 4K to Sharpe Stream, which is this community's only independently owned and run platform, which means it is impossible for anyone to cancel us. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Somebody said to say 1, 2, 3 in my Scottish accent, or whatever it was, my Irish accent. I didn't know that I had that good of an Irish accent, to be quite frank with you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because I'm Irish. Did you do that there? That's all I got. I'll be here all week. Good to have you guys in here today. We are going to open up the phone lines today. We're going to be opening up the Red Pill mic. We are going to be opening up the RPM phone lines to get your take on today's video. Trying to keep Walter corralled here. Yeah, Walter can be a little bit camera shy, but not for the most part. Come on, buddy. All right, well, whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and get down to business. So probably about a week ago, Kevin did an IG live with a woman who was a school bus driver. I broke down that interview, but I jumped the gun because I did not realize that Kevin had not put it on YouTube yet, so I had to end that and end up putting that on Patreon. So make sure you get your hands on that, patreon.com/DonovanSharpe or sharpestream.com if you want to see that breakdown in its entirety. At any rate, directly following that interview, he then had a woman on his on IG Live come on and sort of joust with him, which was absolutely unbelievable. Now, the first thing you guys will notice about this woman is that she's absolutely gorgeous. You guys can look at the screen. As Walter is now on the desk. We need to have a Walter cam. But if you guys look at the screen, you can see that she is stunningly gorgeous. She is stunning. I'm assuming her body is on point. If her body looks as good as her face, I would put this woman at a solid 9. Like, this woman is damn near perfection. She's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen on Kevin's show. Well, regardless of how good a woman looks, modern women today tend to only blame men for their problems. And I think what this particular interview shows is that even when women are exceptionally beautiful, they still They still exhibit female nature. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into this.
Modern women more cut out to be side chicks or wives?
Can you define the modern woman?
Oh, here we go. Can you define the modern woman? Can you define the modern woman? So already, she is starting to play the definition game. Can you define the modern woman? Trying to cut it off at the pass. Can you define the modern woman? So basically, this shows me and Kevin that she wants to disagree with what the modern woman actually is in order to undermine his whole premise. So rather than really discussing whether or not the modern woman is really being trained to be a wife or a side chick, she comes out with the immediate evasive maneuver and says, well, define modern women.
Everything that's not like your grandma or your great-grandma.
You know, I think we can be wifey material depending on who, we're involved with.
Oh, yeah, who we're involved with. So already, you guys are starting to... sense an air of condescension, right? This woman clearly gets her way wherever she goes. She's beautiful and lovely and all that. Unfortunately for her, she's probably been beautiful her whole life, which is why she has this attitude. Let's rewind it a little bit. Watch her face.
Depending on who, we're involved with.
Who we're involved with. Did you see that quick neck snapback? Let's look at that again. When Kevin is explaining his definition of the modern woman, you can see her not really paying attention. She's kind of looking down and away, which is, again, disrespectful. Very, very disrespectful. But, again, Kevin's very good at keeping his cool, and we do allow prettier women to get away with things a little more frequently. That's just how it is. Not to say that Kevin would ever do that, but, I mean, if we're keeping it a stack, better-looking people get more leeway in the way of their behavior. This is men and women. So watch this again.
And woman?
Everything that's not like your grandma or your great-grandma.
You know, I think we can be wifey material depending on who, we're involved with.
Involved with? Did you see that head snap? That head snap says, clearly, I'm right. One more time, watch.
Material depending on who, we're involved with.
Yeah. See? You see that? That right there. Just, again, the micro nuanced expressions tells the tale. She's not here to discuss whether or not modern women are wifey or side chick material. No, she's there to just argue that all women are side chick material, but there's a disclaimer. Or wife material, there's a disclaimer. It depends on who you're involved with.
You can't expect us to be wifey material for someone that doesn't deserve it.
For someone who doesn't deserve it, right? And let me just drink the water to verify the win. Let's look at this again.
Who, we're involved with. You can't expect us to be wifey material for someone that doesn't deserve it.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Huh. Perhaps the same could be said about hoes. Right? Women like her like to say niggas ain't shit. All they do, they're all fuckboys. They don't treat me like a lady. They're not gentlemen anymore. Well, sweetheart, you have to be worthy of gentlemanly treatment. This is the problem with modern women. Modern women are hoes, but hoes don't like it when men who know who they are treat them as such. Men with experience knows the difference between a hoe and a woman who isn't, regardless of what you look like, right? Street Fighter 88 says, yeah, she thought she was onto something with that statement. Right. But what she doesn't understand is that the pendulum swings both ways. Well, I mean, listen, we're of course we'll be wifey material for those who deserve it. Yeah, okay. You can say that, but the fact of the matter is this: there are more of this chick than there are of me. There are more women who look like this than there are Donovan Sharpes. Real talk. So she can act like she has the ability to require ladylike treatment up front, but that's not something you're entitled to. You have to earn that. Women want ladylike treatment without having to act like a lady. They want a man to be traditional without having to be traditional themselves. So when she says, well, of course, we're wifey material to the men who deserve it. I mean, if you don't deserve it, then we're not going to give it to you. Well, then, if that's what you truly believe, then don't complain when a guy butt fucks you on the first date and doesn't call you back. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Well, sweetheart, you let me butt fuck you on the first date. That is not the behavior becoming of a lady. I'm not going to treat you like a lady if you don't act like one. You can't expect a man to treat you like a lady if you don't deserve it. The pendulum swings both ways. Unfortunately for women like this, they are grossly unaware that they outnumber us. There are more women like her. There are 100 times more women like the one on your screens than men like Kevin and myself. And that's real talk. Both Kevin and I are 6'4". Kevin's better looking than I am. I'm probably average looking. But, I'm not ugly. So, right? So I'm over 6 feet. I'm not terrible looking. I'm a high earner. I have plenty of experience with women. I travel. I live a great life. There are not nearly as many of me as there are her. So in terms of not being deserving of something, no, you need to be a lady before I treat you like one. I'm not going to treat you like a wifey. I'm not going to treat you like a wifey because you feel like you deserve it. Nah, bitch. I'm in the catbird seat. I have the leverage. And whoever has the leverage doesn't have shit to prove. Yeah, taking a victory swig. Yeah, exactly.
Automatically wrong.
Oops, he said automatically wrong. Hold up. Let me get to my soundboard. Yep. I love how Kevin just kept his cool. Watch this. This is funny.
You can't expect us to be wifey material for someone that doesn't deserve it.
Automatically wrong.
Okay.
It's conditional femininity.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
Conditional femininity. God damn. Wow. Conditional femininity. That is an excellent turn. Robert Dalton in the chat, beat him to it. Conditional femininity. That's a very interesting concept. I like that. R.I.P. Red Pill Mike, $5 super chat, says you are or you aren't. It's not a switch that can be turned on and off. If it can, it's an act that lasts 6 weeks. This is why we tell you guys that when you are vetting a woman for the possibility of a long-term relationship, you vet her for no less than 12 months. That's on the low end. You vet her ass for 12 months through all seasons. At some point, her true colors are going to come out. You're going to find out who she is eventually. Women can't keep up the charade forever. If she's a hoe, eventually her hoe tendencies are going to show, at which point you can act accordingly. Slapduck on the Sharpe Stream side says female doctors and lawyers are experts at conditional femininity. Yep. You better believe it. You better believe it.
Oh, no. Condition. See, a woman who's feminine is feminine regardless if the man around her is trying to marry her or he's just the guy who's delivering her groceries.
You want to know who does not have conditional femininity? That's right, Aya. That's right, Aya. Somebody please find that part in Kevin's video. Find Aya's short interview in Kevin's video. Email me the timestamp for that, tsr@donovansharpe.com, tsr@donovansharpe.com, tsr@donovansharpe.com. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Walter, psst, stop that. Sorry, guys. Sorry, bud. Start going after my gerbils. That's a no-go. Yeah, send me that timestamp, guys, because I would love to use that video and audio as the example of true femininity.
I don't know where you ladies get off talking about, well, I can act right for the right man. You need to act right for the men who built the world that you live in.
Oops.
Because we're all the right men.
Well,
You just need to act better for the one that's taking care of you.
or just not act for them at all. You get what I'm saying?
No, actually, I don't. Or just not act for them at all. What are we talking about?
So, I think what I'm trying to say is that, you can't give your best to someone that doesn't deserve it.
Sweetheart, you already said that. You can't give your best to someone who doesn't deserve it. Okay, fair enough. So why are you with that person in the first place? Huh? Why are you with that person in the first place? You can't give your best to someone who doesn't deserve it. Okay, if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. We can agree to disagree on that, but why would you be with a man who's not worth your best? If he's not worth your best, that would sound like he is a waste of time. Would it not?
So you expect me to give my all and give my best to
I
someone?
expect you to appreciate the men that built the world around you, that allow you to be able to live in a first world country.
There you go.
The entitlement you guys have.
Well, what about the women? What about the women that built that, though?
The women that what? Hold up.
Around you that allow you to be able to live in a first world country. The entitlement you guys have.
Well, what about the women? What about the women that built that, though?
The women that what?
You know what I'm saying? Like the women.
Look, I'm trying to help you.
I know.
The women haven't built shit. Name me 5 great female inventors. I'll give you one.
Okay.
Madame Curie.
Uh-oh. Isn't that the same quiz? Isn't that the same quiz he gave to old girl Amanda? Everybody's favorite Karen. Remember that? He said, I'll give you one, Madame Curie. I'll give you another one, Margaret Thatcher. Let's see how much of a history buff she really is.
Go.
What I'm trying to say.
She can't do it. Can't do it. See that?
Women don't build nothing.
Women they delivered us. They built life.
Women didn't build life. You see, this is a woman who is overvaluing herself based purely on the fact that she can give birth. Ladies, I got news for you. There is a big difference between being a mother and a mom. Any female can be a mother. Any female can get pregnant. Just open your legs and let a nigga hit it raw enough times and eventually he will knock your ass up. That's what this is about. Women like to act as though the act of giving birth is some sort of otherworldly, impossible, difficult. No. Giving birth in 2021 is easy. They pump you up so full of drugs while you're delivering the baby, you don't feel shit. Okay, so you're bloated and hormonal for 9 months. Big fucking deal. You see, the first 9 months of motherhood, that's the easy part. That's the easy part. The real work begins after you push the little fucker out. You see, like I said, anybody can be a mother. But it takes a good woman, a real woman, to be a mom. This is why we need to rename Mother's Day Happy Mom's Day. Because when we say Happy Mother's Day, we're giving credit to women who got fucked raw and had a kid. And as we all know, most mothers in this country are terrible fucking moms. Real talk. You want to see proof of that? Look around. My mother was a shitty mom. Dude, I can guarantee you, most of us in here probably had shitty moms. Great mothers. I mean, listen, man. I appreciate her birthing me, but sweetheart, you got to finish the job. Just because you push the little fucker out does not endear you, does not entitle you to a lifetime of reverence. Women think just because they push out a kid, and oh, by the way, women never have sex. Women don't have sex to get pregnant. They have sex for pleasure. Getting pregnant is merely a side effect of their pleasurable experience. No woman ever lays down, unless, of course, they're actually trying to get pregnant. But, dude, 99% of women who are having sex right now at this very moment, they're not thinking to themselves, let's make love and bring a life into this world. No, I'm trying to get that dick. I'm trying to get bottomed out. I'm trying to get skeeted in. They're not thinking about motherhood and putting your kid on the bus for the very first. They're not thinking about none of that. They're thinking about getting off, pleasing their man. Women get pregnant on most women get pregnant on accident. They become bad mothers, they become bad moms on purpose. Think about that. We give life. Bitch, there is nothing impressive about getting dick down, about having irresponsible, unprotected sex, getting pregnant, and pushing the fucker out. What happens after that? What happens after that? Come back and see me. Come back and see me. Mother's Day should absolutely be called Mom's Day. Because while any woman has the capability of becoming a mother, almost none of them are actually good moms.
A dog can shit out mutts.
Oh my God. And Kevin literally just said, a dog can shit out mutts. You see? You see? Women act like giving birth is just some magnificent. No, it's not. Ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing to it. For 9 months, you get to eat fucking fried chicken and donuts 24 hours a day. You chop off your hair so you ain't got to worry about it. You're eating for two now. You got this motherly glow. Everyone still reveres you. No, ain't nothing difficult about pregnancy. Ain't nothing difficult about pregnancy or pushing out kids. Fuck out of here with that. That's the most difficult thing a woman will ever do in her life. And when it comes down to it, it really ain't that difficult.
Birth does not make you special.
Female dog, though.
It doesn't make you special.
Bingo.
A bitch.
No,
it doesn't make. See, that's the thing. The ability to give birth doesn't make you special. It just means your womb works.
Ooh, god damn. I forgot about that one. God damn, Kevin, don't hurt him like that. You can tell this woman has never been talked to in this way. It's almost like she's doing this on purpose.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not easy. I don't even think.
What's not easy about it? What's not easy about getting bottomed out and pushing out a kid 9 months later?
Guy can.
Why the fuck do y'all? Why?
Yo, I don't think a guy can do it. You want to know something, man? This is funny. This is real funny. There isn't a female on this earth that would trade places with a man. Not a one of you. Females bitch and moan and complain, oh, it's so hard being a woman and we got to give birth and we got to do this and do that. Not a one of them would trade places with one of us. Not even close. Women love the privileges that they get. From 18 to, 34, 35 years old, especially if they're pretty. Dude, from 16 to 36, a woman's life is on easy mode. Woman's life is on easy mode. Everybody's nice to them. They get shit all the time for nothing. All the time for nothing. They would not trade places with us if they could. Not a one of them. Dre Raven on the Sharpe Stream side says a coma patient can conceive and give birth. I don't think giving birth is on par with building a civilization, baby girl.
Nope.
Fuck no. RPAP says she's essentially saying, I'll only be a Cinderella when he is a Prince Charming. Otherwise, I'm going to be one of those bitchy stepsisters with every man I meet until he proves himself otherwise. And then they wonder why they're alone. There you go. There it is.
Women often talk about it's not easy.
That's the
This is the whole thing. This is this modern feminist bullshit. Y'all expect men to go out and conquer the world, and then you want to, well, I'll decide to be nice to this man. I'll decide.
No, I never said be nice or not.
No,
you should be nice to all people.
No,
that's not what she said. That's not what she said. She says, well, how about not acting at all? I'm not going to be feminine if he doesn't deserve it.
You said I shouldn't give my best to all men. Then guess what? That's cool. So if you getting done up out on the bus, on the subway somewhere, then all the men should just say nothing because they're not yours, right?
There you go.
I didn't say no, don't say nothing. You can
see. Here we go. I didn't say. Come on, man.
No.
Hello. No. Human beings.
Treating people like human beings. Do you say that most women today treat men with respect, like human beings?
Nope.
I would say so. Yeah, I think actually it's the opposite. To me, it seems
how long have you been watching my program?
Like,
she says it's the opposite. Bitch, please.
Tonight.
Period. How long have you watched my platform?
Not very much. I don't go on social media like that.
You're not on social media like that yet. Yet you're on Kevin Samuel's show. Number one. Number two, there's not a woman in the world who looks like this who isn't on social media. Andrew Tate talks about this all the time. What social media has done is it has completely eliminated the hot girls who don't know they're hot. He'll go to some obscure village in Romania, population of 400 people. The two best looking girls in the village, 400,000 Instagram followers.
Then I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't be more.
Hold up.
How long have you watched my platform?
Not very much. I don't go on social media like that.
Stop the cap.
There you go. Look at her and she knows she's lying. Great teeth, beautiful eyes. Hell, she even has a beautiful nose, real hair. Unfortunately, this woman should already be married, man. But no, she's sitting here arguing with Kevin Samuels on a social media platform that she allegedly never ever goes to about modern women.
Well, then I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't be more wrong. I got an entire show of women. Go back and watch a broadcast about women complaining about even just smiling at men.
Okay, well, I can't speak on behalf of those people.
Oh, here we go. The standard, well, I can't speak on behalf of those people. Give me a break. Street Fighter 88, $10. Says the cycle never ends. Young, hot 20s, young, hot, arrogant 30s. Where are all the good men? 40s, single cat lady on depressants. Or anti-depressants. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is the typical cycle of today's American women. Typical cycle of modern women, man. This woman is in her 20s. She's arrogant as fuck. She thinks she's got all the time in the world. And then when that attention dwindles, all of a sudden she's going to start freaking out. MT Soul, $5, says conditional femininity is equivalent to conditional love, which all of them have towards men. Raymond Green, $5, says she strikes me as someone who bases her self-worth on feelings of superiority towards others. No, I don't think she does. She bases her self-worth on the way people treat her. She knows she's attractive. Nothing wrong with that. Smoke Some with Loop. Welcome to Chat Privileges. At Smoke Some with Loop. To welcome him to the TSR family. Appreciate that very, very much. If you would smoke, put your age and location in the chat in case one or more of us happens to be in your neck of the woods. Maybe we can meet up for a beer or three. Maybe. Guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. When you subscribe and go over to the bell, make sure you click all. make sure you click all. I would also like to advise you to set an alarm or a timer, calendar reminder once a month to resubscribe to my channel. Looks like YouTube is taking away subscribers again. And the reason I know this is because this week alone, I've had to subscribe to Kevin's channel, I think 2 or 3 times. They keep unsubscribing me for whatever reason. So be sure to subscribe. Make sure to check that you're subscribed. And again, when you hit that subscribe button, go over to the bell, click the bell, make sure you click on all. I would greatly appreciate that. Let's continue.
Yeah, but well, that's the world.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to say is that in our current time, I think men are more of the problem.
Oh my God. Did this woman actually say in this current time, men are more the problem? Is she kidding with this? Like, what is she basing this off of? Oh, I know what she's basing this off of. She's basing this off of the men she dates. She only dates the top 10% of men. Look at her. You see, women like this who think the problem is men, these are women who only have experience with top-tier men. Top-tier men don't mess, or listen, they'll certainly smash hoes, but they don't commit to them. Not a chance. And even if they found a woman worthwhile, he's got all the time in the world. So what she's complaining about is the top 10% of men. If you were to ask this woman right now, who cheats more, men or women? She would tell, of course, men. Not understanding that she's not talking about 100% of the men. She's talking about the top 10%. Right? This is the same woman, if you ask her, how many men, what percentage of men are sexually active? I don't know, 75, 80%? Actually, it's 100% of men in the top 10% of men who are sexually active. This woman has no idea. She has no idea. Again, the bottom 90% of men are invisible to her. That's why she bases all of her beliefs on the top 10% of men. And so it should come as no surprise that she says, well, it's really the men that are the problem.
Most feminists do. What's the problem with men?
In our modern society?
You mean the world? Yeah. What else world are you going to talk about?
I think that they personally lack respect for women.
They lack respect for woman. That's women, dear. That's women. And again, the reason why men lack respect for women is because the average modern woman is not respectable. That's how this works. You listen, you don't get respect just because you're pretty. I've met a lot of pretty girls in Vegas who are not very respectable females. A lot of beautiful women in Vegas. Beautiful women in Vegas. No, you got to earn my respect. And by earn my respect, that doesn't mean blow me 45 minutes after I approach you at the bar at Caesar's Palace. Oh my God, he doesn't respect me. Well, what the hell am I supposed to... Dude, you were on your knees in front of me naked literally 47 minutes after I met you for the very first time. No, it doesn't work that way. A lot of women say, well, you got to give respect to get it. No, respect is earned, never given.
And why should you be respected?
Uh-oh.
Why we should be respected? I think that we put up with more than we should.
No. Why should women
and we should be valued. Hold on. We're not as valued.
Why should
you be respected? Oh my God, I feel like all these people are about to come for me right now.
No, don't worry about all these people. You're talking to me. Why should you be respected and why should you be valued?
Me personally?
Because I'm pretty, Kevin.
Or are you asking me to speak on behalf of women?
Well, you said you don't think men respect women and women should be respected and valued.
Because, I mean, if you look...
That's literally exactly what she said.
At the dating culture, first of all, the way that the dating culture is
This is too easy.
Men are less likely to commit to a woman. They
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that?
Here we go. Men are less likely to commit to a woman. Gee, I wonder why. Devin, put it on the poll. What percentage of American women are wife material? What percentage of American women are actually wife material? Answer number one, let's go 75 to 100%. Let's make it easy. 75 to 100%. Answer number two, let's go 50 to 74%. Answer number three, 25 to 50%. Answer number four, less than 25%. Put that on the poll for me, Dev. And what I'll do is I'll make sure I screen grab it so you guys can see what the poll results are in real time. What percentage of American women are wife material?
Why do you think that is?
Maybe social media plays a factor, and
No.
people have.
Are you kidding me? Maybe social media is a factor. This woman is absolutely clueless.
Chivalry is dead because women killed it.
Oh!
Like it or not.
Did she say how or wow?
Maybe social media plays a factor, and
No.
people having.
Chivalry is dead because women killed it. Like it or not.
She said how? This woman has no idea what the hell she's talking about. How has chivalry? How have women killed chivalry? Is she serious with this? How have women killed chivalry? Like honestly, I mean, she's got to be willfully ignorant at this point. She has to be willfully ignorant at this point. She's being ignorant on purpose. Ay. How? Oh my God.
Like it or not, here's the thing. You need to actually tune into the world and get out of your bubble. Because like it or not, yeah,
I'm not in a bubble. Are you serious? Dude, this woman. I'm not in a bubble. Oh my God. Yeah, this woman's not the brightest crayon in the box. She is, and this is funny because of how pretty she is. Because of how pretty she is. Yeah, I think she's very daft. I think this is very daft. Because of how pretty she is, people take what she says more seriously, and so she believes that she is more intelligent than she is. No, this woman is dumb. And you want to know why she's dumb? Because she doesn't have to be smart. She doesn't have to be intelligent. Women who look like this have the luxury of being stupid. Women like this have the luxury of being just a stupid bitch. There are no consequences. Dude, there are no consequences for dumb, pretty women. Dumb, pretty women. Zayunda Heimdall says, didn't this chick say she doesn't get on social media, but then claims it's social media's fault? There you go.
Stop the cap.
Really? I don't get on social media like that, but men don't respect women. Well, I don't know. We can look at social media. I thought you were never on social media. Boo.
Yeah, you are, because I guarantee you, go into the comment section, you'll even have the women telling you what the hell you're talking about.
I mean, if you want to come up here and speak.
No, you don't invite people to my platform.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Damn, he checked her with the quickness. That, gentleman, is submission. Watch this. This is funny. He said, bitch, don't invite people on my platform. She went right to a kitten.
No. You don't invite people to my platform.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, see? That was genuine.
You may be cute to other people.
I'm not trying to represent.
Oh, shit. Kevin said, you might be cute to other people, but to me, you're a basic bitch. I know Kevin didn't say that, but I'm going to say it for him.
And every woman on
Well, but the thing is, you're talking about women should get respect. No. If you're going to say women should get respect, then you should submit to all men.
There it is. This is literally a circular argument. I will be feminine and docile and submissive to a man if he deserves it. But then she turns right around and say, well, women are not respected. We need to be valued. And Kevin's asking her why. She can't give us the answer. What does this particular woman bring to the table that she has never given to another man? The answer is no. The answer is no. There's nothing this woman has to offer. There's nothing this woman has to offer that she has never given willfully to another man. And those are the facts. Daddy Dame says, she's too smug. I hate her face and like her all in the same one. Dude, when you have enough experience with bitches like this.
I don't think I should submit to all men.
Well, there we go. There you go. If you don't think you should have to submit to all men, then guess what? Then not all men have to respect you. You see how that works? It's a two-way street. You see, women want the respect without having to earn it. Women want respect without having to earn it, yet even though men have earned every woman's respect, they still don't get it.
And then a woman should not get respect and value. You're just another person. You earn.
First of all, I think all humans should be.
Oh, here we go. First of all, I think all humans. So now she's trying to go macro with it.
Well, that's a nice utopian concept.
See, she's laughing because she knows he's right. She knows he's right.
Okay.
But the bottom line today, the reason the dating market is the way it is today, is because women have abused the free market system.
Oops.
You don't see your grandmother, your great grandmother's generation didn't have the problems modern women had. You're the most educated, the freest, the most liberated group of women that ever lived, and you're the most unhappy at all. Why? Because one, nuclear rejections, so entitled.
Yep.
In college today, the average man sitting in college with a woman knows that woman wants a man making six figures.
Yep.
They can't even date because today young women don't want men who are making average money.
That's right.
When's the last time you dated a man making less than $50,000?
You know, I don't really ask people how much money they make.
Oh.
Stop the cap.
Come on. I don't really ask people how much. Look. Okay, so she doesn't ask people how much. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to feign ignorance on the net worth of the men that she's dated. But if he's got a yacht and maybe a Lamborghini, chances are probably making more than $50K a year. I'm just going to go out on the limb and say that.
Mm-hmm. You know why you don't have to? Because they got enough.
Oops.
Yeah. But that's also because, I mean, now we live in a time where you kind of need to have more to live a certain type of life, right? Like 50,000 now is different than obviously what 50,000
You can't make this shit up. No, what you need is two incomes.
Mm-hmm.
See, black people have never had a lot of money, but the fact that I just asked you a question and you answered it the way you did shows that you don't know what the hell's going on. You don't have to ask the guy the kind of money he has because the men you typically date are older and have money.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, in general,
but my point is, men your age wouldn't have stand a chance with you because most don't have money.
There you go.
Thank you.
Right.
There it is. See? I don't think she's really grasping these concepts. It's fucking hilarious.
But to each their own, everyone is different.
No, every woman is not different. Every woman is not different with regards to how their hard drive mate selects. And that's not a bad thing. Every woman is hypergamous. A woman will consolidate on the highest value men available to her. This is beautiful women all the way down to ugly women. That's how this works. It is an adage as old as time itself. There's no science, there's no data. This is how women are made, and this is how they should be made. Women should be hypergamous. If women were not hypergamous and actually loved unconditionally, we'd be in a whole hell of a lot of trouble. We'd probably go extinct. Women have to be hypergamous for us to want to build. If women loved unconditionally, men would not have done the unbelievable things that we've done. We just wouldn't. There's no point. No, men, we build for women, we die for women, we go to wars for women, we protect women, we do everything for women. And now women feel entitled to this simply because they were born in it and have never really had to earn anything.
I think that
everybody's different. We're more alike than anything else. And the bottom line is this: would you like to be married one day?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to be submissive and obedient to your husband? And there she goes. You can't make this shit up.
See, there it is. She bounced. You see that? When it got too hot in the kitchen. Hang on, guys. I got to go get a water. When it got too hot, she decided to bow out. She couldn't take it. She knew she was overmatched. Watch this.
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to be submissive and obedient?
See that? Yes, sir. You want to know why she? You want to know why she dipped at that point? Because he was about to expose her for the useless woman she is. That's all that was. He asked her, "Do you want to be married?" And she knows that Kevin asks the hard questions. He's going to ask her, what can you offer a man that you have never given to another man? What can you offer a man that you have never given to another man? Phone lines are open. 516-387-1987. 516-387-1987. Oops.
To your husband, and there she goes. You can't make this shit up, people.
I'm trying to tell you.
You can't make it up. What you just saw was the outgrowth of this modern womanist, feminist ideal.
Yep.
You want everything. You don't know what the world costs. And that is why most women cannot respect men.
Right.
They do not understand what it costs to build the world that they inhabit, like butter won't melt in their mouth. Modern men have made the world too easy for modern women to where you don't have any appreciation for the infrastructure and things that are around. So you think, well, I shouldn't have to be nice to every man. Then fine. Gentlemen, act accordingly.
There you go.
Treat them equal if they want to be treated equal. Let them see how they like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to. You can't make it up. Modern women more cut out to be.
She's one of the hottest. I don't know, man. She's one of the hottest girls I've seen on Kevin's show. I mean, dude, she's a goddamn smoke show. She really is. Unfortunately for her, she's going to fall into the cracks. She's going to fall into the cracks. Phone lines are open, guys. Phone lines are open. Give me a second here. Yes. The Red Pill Mike phone lines are open. 516-387-1987. 516-387-1987. Right after the show, I will be continuing my F-Boy Island breakdown. The breakdowns are getting actually a little bit crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. We got guys selling each other out, all that stuff. You can watch for free. On SharpeStream. Just download the SharpeStream app. Go to sharpestream.com for Android or iOS, and you can watch all of my premium content live for free. If you want to participate in chat, become a patron or become a member of SharpeStream at sharpestream.com. So earlier, I had Dev put up a poll. What percentage of American women our wife material. 2%. 2% of you said 75 to 100%. 3% of you said 50 to 74%. 14% of you said 25 to 49%. 78 of you said less than 24%. So it appears that 22% of you have no fucking clue as to what you're talking about. I appreciate you voting. I appreciate you voting in the poll. Appreciate that very, very much. The RPM phone lines are open. 516-387-1987. Let's go to Randy in Brooklyn. Randy in Brooklyn, now what you got for me?
Okay, it seems like as far as wife material, that's like very low because they want both sides of the equation. I want you to be, when you're the man, I want you in charge. I want you to lead. I want you to take care of the financial responsibilities and all the dirty work. But on the other hand, I want to be equal to you, especially when I disagree with you.
Wow. So what you're saying is that women, so women want you to be traditionally masculine without her having to be traditionally feminine, and to that end, they want all of the benefits without any of the costs. Does that sound about right?
Exactly. And if you're a man, this way? Why would I go through all that to sign off on this? Because I have nothing to gain, not even marriage, but a relationship. Period.
Right. Now, what's your best guess on this particular female? What is your? How can I put this? What do you think it would be like dating a woman like that?
Okay, the only time you're going to get respect from her is when another woman sees you as valuable to the point that that other woman wants you. Then she'll realize that the balance is going to come more in balance because she knows, as far as sexual market value in her mind, I can get a man faster than you can get a woman. So she's going to treat you accordingly. So the minute you change that is the minute she goes, wait a second, he might have a value. I might have to treat him better than the way I treated the other goofy dudes.
There you go. Wow. Appreciate the call, Randy. Thanks for tuning in, man.
No problem.
Randy in Brooklyn, dropping the knowledge. Yeah, women want it both ways. This woman too. She wants men to treat her with respect without having to work for it. She feels like she's entitled to respect simply because she's a woman. And just like Kevin said, you can't make this up. All right, let's go to Robert in New Jersey. Robert, looks like you have a comment about conditional femininity.
Indeed, Donovan. Thanks for having me on. I was in the chat and I made that comment because I saw it coming a mile away as soon as she said that.
Oh, okay.
As soon as she said, because that's one of the red flag comments. I hear that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Using her logic, like if you apply that to us, to the man that she wants, she can run up on a 6-foot guy with no money on his way at 30, about to hit his prime at 40, 45, right. And she's going to wait the 15 years because his masculinity is kicking into effect right now, and she doesn't want to miss the boat. Get out of here. Miss me with it. It doesn't work like that. And it just doubles down on Red Pill's point. They want all of the benefits of the traditional thing. They want you to stay home. They want you at working all the time. They want you paying all the bills, nothing, buy you the car, buy you this. And when I come home and expect a plate and a back rub, I'm crazy. Get out of here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You can't have cake and eat it too and keep it sliced for tomorrow. It's not what we're doing.
Let me ask you what I asked Randy. What do you think dating a woman like this would be like?
You don't date that, man. You hit that once, twice, 3 times a maybe, and then you get up on your merry way.
I like that right? Lionel Richie. Listen, only men of a certain age would understand that Lionel Richie reference there.
Yeah, I'm giving it away. I just made 38 this month. And happy belated birthday to you as well, good sir.
Thank you. All right, Robert, I'll give you the last word, man.
Yeah. Real quick, this was how I would deal with them. Like I deal with any type of nuisance female in my life, or a female that I deem nuisance. I extract my attention and presence away from them. That works really well on women.
Okay.
In my experience. Thanks for having me, Donovan.
Absolutely. Robert in New Jersey, appreciate you checking in. Once, twice, 3 times the lady. Yeah, listen, good-looking girls they're very hard to only bang once. Like, they're very hard to just smash and dash, as Dr. B84 said. Very, very, very difficult. Let's go to Hemlar in Indiana. You've got a comment about women respecting men.
Yes, I do. Honestly, I really do agree with what Kevin Samuels said about what he said in that at the very end of that Instagram clip.
Okay. What are you referring to?
I'm sorry?
And what comment were you referring to that Kevin made at the end of that Instagram clip?
Women have it easy and they really don't realize it.
Yes.
And you just can't make it up.
Why do you think that is?
I think that is because all of the high-value men that they go around trying to get, they really don't know how to handle them.
Right.
And because they're so willing, because all of these high-value men are saying all of the right stuff to do this and that, between the sheets and in the bedroom, they're getting their emotions toyed with, their hormones put into overdrive,
right,
for mating, and really they just don't understand. They don't understand just how deeply they are being played.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks for the call, Hemlar. I believe that women don't realize how good they have it because of what Kevin said. Women have it too good. Men have created an environment that is so safe and convenient for women, they have taken it for granted. And to that end, they don't take it for granted. Guess what? They're not going to respect the men who built it. They're just not. All right, let's go to Pat in Charlotte. Pat in Charlotte, you've got a comment on women and marriage. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan. Yeah, I agree with what you've said before. Women do take it for granted, and I've seen that firsthand here as a almost 30-year-old man, high-value man,
okay,
trying to date. But I think, this whole conversation kind of leads even more credence to your point about the 35-35 rule. I can now see in real time why you said that and how important that is. So maybe you want to explain that again to the audience, but I can 100% agree with you.
Yeah, so what Pat is referring to is my rule as far as men. Before you even think about having a long-term relationship with a woman, you need to be at least 35 years old and have fucked at least 35 women. Because being 35 years old, you're at the dawn of your sexual physical prime in terms of sexual attractiveness. And when you have fucked 35 women, you'll know exactly what to look for and what not to look for. Now let me ask you this, Pat. What reiterated that 35-35 rule for you? Was it an experience? Did you hear something? Did you see something?
Yeah, Donovan, I've dated a lot of women, and, I kind of go into it believing that something could come out of it, but at the end of the day, you realize, specifically with what we talk about in this community, you can really see through it. Once your eyes have really been opened,
yeah,
you really see the reality of the situation, and you say, I can't do that. I can't commit to that woman.
Right.
And you have to say that rule would probably make it acceptable at that point if you've really gotten that amount of experience.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult to be able to discern which women are worth your time outside of sex and which women aren't unless you have extensive experience with women. I think the average man in the United States has slept with 7 women. The average woman in the United States has slept with more than 7 women. That should tell you which way the odds are. Dr. B84 says, Myron says 50, but 35 is perfectly reasonable. No, I agree. I agree totally, man. I'll give you the last word, Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my advice to everybody is stick to that rule, and the more you go through it, the more you realize that 99% of the women out there just aren't worth it.
Good stuff, man. Pat, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks, Donovan.
Pat in Charlotte, dropping the knowledge. Yeah, man. Yeah. This is why I always cringe because I did it. Listen, man, I got married when I was 25, right? And things weren't nearly as bad then as they are now. But dude, any man that gets married in his early to mid 20s, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? Okay, let's go to Zach in Boston. So, Zach, you have a comment about women expecting respect so they don't value it.
Right. Yeah. Good afternoon, Donovan. Yeah. So, with men in our interaction, first you kind of have to respect men in interactions because there's a slight threat of violence. Right. If you talk shit to the wrong guy, you're going to get punched in the face. It's just the way it is. With women, men, because they have that mentality, also tend to respect everybody in general the same. Because not that there's a threat of violence with women, but that's just our natural mode of what we do, right?
Yeah.
So, because of that, they've always gone it without even earning the respect.
So you're talking about now here's the deal. And I'll actually add on to what you just said. The reason why men automatically respect one another is because there's an unspoken agreement that if either one or both people gets out of pocket and get disrespectful, things could turn physical. Well, this, in large part, is why women are almost never respectful to men if they don't have to be, because they know if the man retaliates and, God forbid, does something to her, he's going to jail for a long time. And so not only do women expect respect, they're incentivized to disrespect men in public, which is one of many reasons why bitches ain't shit. I'll give you the last word.
You said it best. I'll let you go. Thank you.
Zach in Boston, checking in. Yeah, he's absolutely right, man. He's absolutely right, man. This is why women talk to each other with more respect than they talk to men. Because they know that if they talk sideways to a woman's not going to jail if she swings on another woman. That's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Let's go to Joe in Boston. So Joe, you have a comment about letting them know how much you appreciate, or letting people know how much they're appreciated. Elaborate on that, would you?
No, I just wanted to come on the show. Just to let you know I appreciate what you're doing on here on YouTube, Donovan.
Oh, okay. So, sorry about that. I guess I misread that. Yeah. How long have you been watching the show?
Ever since that one, actually, you went over the show yesterday when Kevin Samuels was roasting all those women on the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Oh wow! So you're definitely new. Have you watched any of my older videos?
Yes, I have. I've been watching. I watched a couple of them. Let's see. The oldest back would be probably like 4 or 5 months.
Wow. Okay. Good. So it sounds like you have a.
So that's like the oldest video that I've watched of yours.
Okay, very good. Now let me ask you, why have you subscribed to me? And I'm not doing this as an ego boost. This is more of a survey question. What about my content keeps you coming back?
How do I put this? Very similar to like why I come back to Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels.
Okay.
You're a very good talker. What you do and what Kevin Samuels do, and just lump you in with like everybody else, but what you guys do, you're very good speakers. You're very good at conversating, and the best thing that you guys do is that if women even come onto the podcast, you treat them with respect, and that's why they always keep coming. You're I noticed that you're more new to that. You know, you went on the debate with Guste, and you handled that pretty well, really well.
Yeah, I thought I handled that pretty well. A lot of people, and I guess I should not have labeled it a debate. I should have labeled it a discussion because people were really wanting to assign a winner and a loser. And listen, I knew I wasn't going to change her mind. I knew she wasn't going to change my mind. All I wanted to do was put her thoughts and her way of thinking on display to show people that, hey, what I have told you about women like her, this is the proof. I'll give you the last word, Joe.
Yeah, that's very true. I think that's actually the reason why a lot of guys watch videos like that is because they're expecting the woman to change her mind. They're expecting the woman to come on and say, "Oh, okay, right. So I'm gonna revert back and go back to a virgin or something." Like that's not gonna work out very well.
No, it's not. As great a content as that would be, it'll be a cold day in hell before women admit live on the air that I was right. Thanks for the call, Joe. I appreciate it, man.
All right, see ya.
Joe in Boston checking in. Yeah. I like to quiz guys on why they watch my program. Let's go to Juan in Chicago. Looks like you've got a comment about stereotypes on pretty girls. Talk about that for me, would you, Juan?
Yeah. So this is more relevant than ever.
Okay.
Because during my high school days, there were so many pretty girls, and let's just say that they did favors to the teachers in order to get good grades because of how pretty they look.
Yeah, so you're saying that the more attractive girls in school got better grades because they were more attractive.
Yes.
Listen, that doesn't surprise me. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
What we call that here in the United States, we call that pretty privilege. And a lot of guys...
Oh, yeah.
Well, a lot of guys seem to be scornful about pretty privilege. Well, she's only getting that privilege because she's pretty. Okay. Listen, man, we can't ask pretty girls to apologize that people treat them better than they treat most people. Just like Shaquille O'Neal, he didn't have to apologize to anyone that he was born to be, 7 feet 2 inches with quick feet. Listen, the creator, whoever he is, blessed some people genetically, but for the rest of us, we have to work a little harder to get favorable outcomes.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I'll give you the last word, Juan.
This about the dating situation. If I were to date one, I like to watch like old classical plays, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like she would be very lost in one of those scenarios. Like, who's that?
Yeah, she didn't really seem. She doesn't seem like the sharpest tool in the shed, did she?
Yeah, she doesn't look like the sharpest crayon on the toolbox.
Thanks for checking in, Juan. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, listen, again, you cannot expect women who look like that to be brimming with all of this cerebral brawn. That's just how it is, man. Like, pretty women are useless because they have never, ever, ever had to be useful. Ostrike with the $5 super chat. says these days women only want sincere relationships with men who don't, and vice versa. Yeah, right. Let's go to Bad Wrench in Minnesota. You've got a question about future endeavors with women.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Sharpe, for having me on today.
Absolutely.
I guess the question is what would be the best way for the average man to start approaching the dating scene? I think that a lot of channels, I watch you almost every day. I watch Fresh and Fit. I try to catch Kevin Samuels when I can. I also watch Rollo Tomasi. And I see that a lot of the stuff that you guys are talking about is more of the high-level game. But I think that a lot of the average men in America are getting lost in this. They're drowning in this fact that, they may live in an area that's middle America. And if they don't go to a big city to try to chase the big city dreams, they're going to fall in the cracks. And I think a lot of the women chasing the big social media sites are starting to drive such a wedge in that gap that's why we're seeing such a huge difference.
Yeah.
I guess the question is what can we do to bridge that gap?
This is simple. The best way for the average guy, and let's just be clear, most guys are the average guy. So what can the everyday guy do? What can the everyday average guy do to approach the current dating scene? You have to make yourself above average. Okay? There's no such, average, if you find yourself, if men say, well, I'm the average guy, but I don't get any opportunities. Well, the solution is simple. The doing it is not, right? But you have to make yourself above average, which means the first thing the quickest way to increase your sexual market value is to get into shape. Dude, you change your body, you change your life. That's the number one way. The second way is that you need to dress better. And in order to dress better, you need to make a little bit more money. And so money and dress all have to do with everything. But if you get yourself into phenomenal shape, it doesn't really matter how much money you make in terms of sleeping with women. Women will sleep with you if you're unemployed. But if you're ripped 3% body fat, yeah, they'll certainly listen. They'll give you a roll in the hay. But if you're actually looking to date with intention, like you're looking for a long-term relationship, because let's just keep it real here, Bad Wrench. Most men just want a good relationship with a woman. Well, it's not as easy these days to do. You have to have yourself in order, and then you have to have the wherewithal to get and to keep her in order. And the reason why good relationships are so difficult to come by is because a good relationship in this day and age is very, very rare. And the reason why it's rare is because it's difficult. But the reason it's difficult is because it's worth it. A lot of guys say, well, relationships aren't worth it. Well, I mean, I can understand that a guy thinks that relationships aren't worth it. But what they really mean to say is that bad relationships aren't worth it. Good relationships don't just happen. Good relationships take constant work. It takes constant maintenance. It's not easy, but that's exactly why it's worth it. So there is no, like a guy like you understand more than anybody, there is no shortcut to this. The best way for an average man to approach the current dating scene, to approach the current dating scene, is to make yourself an above average man.
Yep, and that's kind of what brought me to the Red Pill community, and to be able to see kind of how things have shifted is that really what young men need to realize is start with your fitness, start with your finances, start on yourself. Don't look at the pretty, shiny girl. That's great if you could get a night with her, but you also have to remember, and I know you've said it on your program, and I've heard it on Fresh and Fit, that plain and simple, the higher you go in the hotter category for women, the harder they are to be able to settle down with them because of the way that society has let them get out of control.
Yes.
Back 100%. In the day when there was no social media, they were able to basically shift around and work within the parameters they had. But once social media opened up, now that whole world is wide open to them.
Yes.
100%. And that's where I remember you saying that it's a lot better if you're looking for that stable relationship to date 5, 6, and 7s.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, I have said this many times throughout my 8 years in this community. 9s and 10s belong to the game. I said that way back in episode 37. If you are looking for a long-term relationship, you need to set your sights on the 6s and 7s of the world. The 5s, the 6s, and the 7s. The sweet spot is the 6s and 7s because they're at least they're above average attractive. However, it's going to be easier to train a woman to be in a relationship if she's a 5 rather than a 6. She'll be easier to train if she's a 6 rather than a 7. That's just how it is. So you need to look for the average to slightly above average looking female if you're really wanting to date with purpose, looking for a long-term relationship. Absolutely.
I guess one other piece I would want to add to this is once we've established those few things, would we also want to say that you have to look for that 5, 6, and 7 in the right place? I see a lot of men that are looking for the women in the wrong place. You know, if they don't want somebody who's a bar fly or they don't want somebody who's a club
Slut.
chick, they're looking in the wrong place if that's where they're going all the time.
Yeah, I could not agree more. If you're, and again, you don't want to be out looking for a relationship. If you build yourself up to be an above average man, trust me, women will make themselves available to you. And again, that's how I met Devin. I wasn't looking for Dev. Devin came looking for me because I had my shit together. So the best way to put yourself in the most advantageous position possible is to make yourself above average. The further above average you are, the more opportunities you will have with women. You'll find that you won't have to look for women. The women will find you.
Yeah, they tend to seek out what they like, and that makes it a lot easier for men. And I think a lot of men should maybe take that step back. Don't be so pushy to chase the woman. You know, if a woman likes you, she's going to make eye contact with you. She's going to look at you. She may slightly bump into you in a crowded place. You'll notice her because she'll make herself notice. She'll make it so that you notice her, is what I'm trying to say there. Is that, she'll do something to catch your eye. And once she's caught your eye, that's when you can, start figuring out what you want to do next, how you're going to move.
Very good. Thanks for calling in, Bad Wrench. I will actually refer you guys to a video that I did a while back. This is 100% in line what Bad Wrench was talking about. Take a look and listen. Here's what men need to understand. If you want a woman for a relationship, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of SMV in terms of appearance for relationship market value. You must sacrifice looks if you want a long-term relationship. You are not going to have a successful long-term relationship with an 8, a 9, or a 10. That is the sacrifice you have to make. I've sold new cars. I've sold used cars. I've sold luxury cars. So everything in between. I've sold Hondas, Dodges, Toyotas, Audis, Chevys, Fords, you name it, I've sold them. Well, a common conflict that occurs, specifically with male car buyers, is that inner struggle between what they want. And after this short video, we're going to go to Orlando and Charlotte, Dwayne in Mississippi, Joe in Ontario, California, and Loop from Texas. Versus what they need. Now, as men, typically we want fast, beautiful cars. We want that sleek, aerodynamic style that all sports cars have. We want that engine that's going to roar when we hit the gas pedal. We want that car that goes from 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds, or at least close to it. You get the idea. But what a man wants in a car isn't always necessarily what he needs. What most men need out of a car is typically a low car payment, low insurance, reliability, safety, great fuel mileage, and a great warranty.
Let's take a look at a couple of car models I used to sell back in 2003. Let's take a look at the Dodge Viper and the Dodge Stratus. Now, the Dodge Viper is clearly the more aesthetically pleasing car. It's faster, the engine is superior, it's a chick magnet. I think that's obvious. But the car payment is going to be extremely high, the insurance is going to be really expensive, and it has terrible gas mileage. If I remember correctly, the 03 Viper got like 13 miles to the gallon in the city and maybe 20 on the highway on a good day. Now, it's a gorgeous machine, guys. Let's get that right. It's fast, it's beautiful, sounds like a monster when you rev it up, and it will turn a lot of female heads. But there's an extremely high price to be paid. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really have anything you need in a car other than maybe reliability. And even then, if you open up the engine more than you need to, which is a temptation in and of itself when you drive a Dodge Viper, you're going to have engine trouble down the road, which reduces its reliability. Not to mention the fact that parts and repair for Dodge Vipers are notoriously expensive. You're spending you're dropping 4 figures every time you bring it into the garage. Ilderton Dodge in High Point, North Carolina. If you don't believe me, go and check out their website. Shameless plug for those guys. The Dodge Stratus, however, isn't anywhere near as gorgeous as the Viper, but it's a decent looking car. It's a good looking car. You're not going to turn heads like the Viper would, but you're not going to get any accusations of driving a beat up junk bucket. It's much safer than the Viper, because if you get in a car accident in a Dodge Viper, you're as good as gone. That's all there is to it. But the Stratus is far more likely to keep you alive. The car payments, obviously for a Dodge Stratus, will be a fraction of the Viper car payment, and so is the insurance, incidentally enough. Now, every man wants to drive the proverbial Dodge Viper. And for a short-term fling, guys, listen, it's not a bad option, right? Like, listen, maybe you lease it for a year or two and return it. Maybe you rent it for a summer, have some fun. But it is never a good idea to finance a Viper over 72 months. And trust and believe, guys, plenty of men have made this mistake. A Dodge Viper is not a viable long-term option. Believe that. The smarter choice, guys, is the Stratus. It's much better for us in the long term. You'll have the car paid off long before the warranty runs out. You'll save thousands in insurance payments. It's far more reliable and doesn't cost that much. It doesn't cost as much to repair, even if you have to do that. Well, cars are like women, gentlemen. I know you were waiting for me to get to it. We all want the hot wife, guys. We all want the hot girlfriend. But the truth of the matter is that they're not good for long-term relationships. Unless she was raised on a farm with no internet or raised in an Amish village, girls who have extremely high sexual market value almost always have much lower relationship market value. There is a difference. In this environment, in this current sexual climate, this current dating market, the things that make women sexually attractive are the same things that reduce their relationship market value. Take a look at any Instagram model's comments, and there is no shortage of men saying wifey material. Will you marry me? I love you. Most men foolishly believe that a woman who looks good will also make a good significant other, and nothing could be further from the truth, guys. And these men, they make this mistake in the real world. They grab the hottest girl they can find, thinking that they've got the holy grail because she said she was traditional on the first date. Oh my God, she's beautiful and she's traditional. She wants kids. My ship has come in. I've hit the lottery. But then they're surprised, shocked, and devastated when she cheats on him 3 weeks after she told him that she loved him. What a man wants in a woman, guys, isn't necessarily what we need in a woman. Just like cars, guys. Again, the Dodge Stratus isn't a Dodge Viper. Not even close. The Viper has far more sexual appeal. It has more sexual market value, as it were, than the Stratus. But the Stratus has far more relationship market value, which makes it the better choice for the long term. Men need to start approaching relationships the same way. Gentlemen, I know it's hard. But it is necessary. And the way to put yourself in an advantageous position in terms of making the right decision on women that you could potentially commit to starts with the ability to distinguish the difference between sexual market value and relationship market value. The first element we're going to take a look at is attractiveness. I think that's a good place to start. Listen, obviously, in order to get any sort of attention for, a relationship or sex, a woman has to be attractive. She has to be at the very least. Okay? If she's not, we're not interested. Women talk all the time about their education and, I've got a degree and I can cook and I can clean and I believe in traditional relationships and I want to be a wife and I'm going to be submissive. That is great. Okay. Don't listen. Those are great traits that you have if you actually have them. But if you're not attractive, if I don't want to fuck you, I'm not interested. You can be the world's most feminine woman. Okay? If you don't look good in a bikini, if you don't look good wearing Devin's stripper heels, I don't want to fuck you. I'm not doing it. Here's what men need to understand, guys. Here is what men needs to understand. If you want a woman for a relationship, you are going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of SMV in terms of appearance for relationship market value. Every man dreams of marrying an 8 or a 9 or a 10. Every man wants a hot girlfriend, a hot wife. Every man wants a girlfriend that's an 8, a 9, or a 10. Newsflash, guys, here. 8s, 9s, and 10s are community property. Everybody's had a ride. Listen, 8s, 9s, and 10s work in the sex industry, whether they're cocktail waitresses, strippers, whether they turn tricks, whether they turn escorts. And even if they don't end up in the sex trade, 8s, 9s, and 10s only the highest value guys. They the richest guys. They the guys with the biggest. They the guys who have the best looks. They highest value guys. And highest value doesn't always mean money. No, highest value means the best looking, tallest, biggest you can find. And if they happen to be all rolled up into one, professional athletes, then she's definitely going to be an alpha widow. Let's bring Devin into the conversation. Devin is a 7. She's a 7. A lot of people think, oh my God, Devin's not a 9 or a 10. She's a 7. In the face, she's a 6.5. She has a 6.5 face. She has above average looks, slightly above average looks in the face. In her face, she's a 6 on the worst day with no makeup. On her best day, her face is a 7. Her body, on the other hand, is an 8.5. Her body is an 8.5. Her body is an 8 on her worst day. On her best day, her body is a hard 9. Maybe even a little higher depending upon what she is wearing. And anybody who just take a stroll through my social media feed. Devin's got a hot bod. You guys know that. Now think about this. If Devin were an 8, maybe an 8.5, right? If you increase her sexual market value by 1 point, if she were 7.5 to an 8 in the face and at a 9.5 to a 10 body, she'd make a terrible girlfriend, guys. Terrible. I'd never be able to tame her. And the reason I know this is because listen, man, it's hard enough as it is. Listen, I might be able to for a little while, but eventually she would go feral, as all 8s, 9s, and 10s eventually do. Even though she's just a 7, guys, she still gets looks. People look at her. Dudes check her out. Even when we're shopping and she looks like hell, frumpy t-shirt, blue jeans, dudes still look at her. When we go out on dates and she's dressed to the 9s, earrings, short little sundress, heels, men and women look at her. Imagine if she looked like that everywhere she went. Just imagine that. That's what it would be like if Devin were an 8. 8s, 9s, and 10s belong to the game. They are community property. I am very fortunate to have a 7 as a girlfriend. Sometimes she can push 7.5 if she really, really tries. That's perfectly fine, as long as she's a 7.5, 8 around me. But Devin's a 7. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, my girlfriend's a 9 or a 10. No, she's not a 10, guys. She's a 7. You must sacrifice looks if you want a long-term relationship. You are not going to have a successful long-term relationship with an 8, a 9, or a 10. That is the sacrifice you have to make. Don't look for an 8, a 9, or a 10, gentlemen. Look for a 6 or a 7. 6s and 7s don't look like 8s, 9s, or 10s. But every girl has that one trait that makes her irresistible. They have that one trait. Maybe she has a great ass. Maybe she has great legs. Devin's got all 3. So I'm fortunate in that regard. Don't look for a long-term relationship with an 8, a 9, or a 10. Between a 6 and a 7, that's the sweet spot.
Hello? Can't hear anything.
Wait a minute. Oh, I see the problem. I was muted. All right, hang on, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let me go back to... there we go. All right. Okay, my bad on that. So Orlando in North Carolina, you got married young. You've got a situation, I guess, that needs to be resolved. Tell me what's going on, man.
Right, so I got married young. My wife and I, we have a pretty, I would say, good, healthy marriage. We don't have to have a marriage. My wife, she really wants friends, like really bad. And like all of the siblings, her girls and cousins and even aunties or friends she went to high school. Modern woman. And none of them really want to hang out with, happily married, pretty, stay-at-home mom. I keep trying to tell her that, you can be close with them, but you're never really going to be that close with them because, like, in my opinion, she's way better than them. And women don't like hanging out with other women that are clearly better than them. I was going to ask you what's your advice that, I could maybe tell her, because of course it's great for me that she doesn't have a lot of friends to give her bad influences.
Yeah.
But should she want to have friends that doesn't have the same kind of life as her?
Yeah, listen, one thing, and this is probably something she didn't realize. And a lot of American women who actually do the right thing and get married young to be stay-at-home mothers, what they don't realize is a major drawback is that they're not going to have a lot of women who can identify with them, because most women don't want to get married young. Most women want to party. They want to do hot girl summer and cuffing season and spring break and all this other kind of stuff. And so what your wife is going to have to understand is that women are not going to hang out with women they have nothing in common with unless they are trying to sabotage them. If your wife or girlfriend has single friends that actually want to hang around her, those single friends are actively trying to sabotage her relationship. Why? Well, it's because misery loves company. Women are never really happy for each other unless they have what the other woman has. And if they see that a woman is in a long-term relationship of consequence with a respectable man, a high-value man, living a good life, they're either going to distance themselves or they'll try to sabotage the relationship. So you should thank your lucky stars that maybe her family and friends don't want to hang around her, but in your case, that's probably a good thing. My suggestion to you would be for her to find I know that there are all sorts of mommy groups online. Tell her to look online for threads, groups stayathomemoms.com or something like that, because I can promise you your wife is not the only wife who is having difficulties finding friends that she has something in common with.
Right. Yeah. I think she does look for things like that, but I think she has like a little bit of a fantasy, like all of her cousins that she grew up with. She's like, oh, we're all going to grow up and we're all going to find our husbands and live on the same street and that kind of thing. And that happened for her. And I think it's a little bit of the pretty privilege. She thought that everyone was as pretty or was as good as a potential wife as her.
Right.
And when it happened for her and it didn't happen for them, she was just confused. She was like, why doesn't anybody want to marry such and such? And I have to tell them, like, Leah, she's not attractive, or she's street property. Like, like she doesn't really get it. Like, she just remembers having fun growing up.
Yeah, you're just, listen, you're going to have to keep reiterating that to her, man. Let her know, hey, look, I know you had the fantasy of everybody growing up on the same street and having houses on the same street, but let her know, man, life ain't the fucking movies. Like, this is real life. Your friends and relatives don't look as good as you do. And that doesn't mean that they're bad people. What this means is they have far less options than you do. This is why it's taking them a little longer to get married than it took you.
Right.
Again, listen, my suggestion, tell her to find a group, whether it's a local group or an online group. I think that would really, really help her out, Orlando.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, thanks for checking in. Yeah, man, one thing that, listen, we talk all the time about how women should get married young, start their families young. What we don't tell them is that it's not all peaches and cream. It's certainly more fulfilling. It's much more satisfying, but there's a price to be paid for everything, and unfortunately, that's one of those costs. Let's go to Dwayne in Mississippi, who says casual sex is the main reason for all of these issues. What you got for me, Dwayne?
Yo, what up, Don? I'm a long-time listener.
Cool, appreciate that, man. Thank you. How long have you been listening to my show?
Hello?
How long have you been listening to my show?
I've been listening to you for about over a good 4 or 5 years.
Wow. Holy shit, man. Well, thank you very much for your support, man. I appreciate it.
I listen to you, Tommy, all you guys, Fresh and Fit, Kevin. I've been listening to you guys since I was in my mid-20s. I'm in my mid-30s now.
Wow. Well, hey, man, listen, I appreciate the support, brother. What you got for me?
But yeah, I was going to say, like, casual sex is the reason for all this stuff. Because, like, everybody has done everything with a bunch of people already. So what's left, like, for a marriage, for a relationship? Like, when I first approach a woman, I'm already knowing she already has 10, 20, 30 dudes in her phone already.
Right.
I'm already knowing she's been with this dude and that dude. She probably had some babies or an abortion or she's ran through. Like, so what's the point? Like, what's the point? Like, if I'm with a female and we together and she tell me she love me, like, is it really real? Because she done told other dudes she loved me.
Yeah.
Before me.
Well,
so is that love really real?
Well, I will say this, and I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I agree with you 100%. Just understand, and you're right to be skeptical of a woman telling you that she loves you, because just because a woman tells you she loves you doesn't necessarily mean she loves you, right? A woman who tells you, listen, she may very well love you, and it is possible for a woman to have loved more than one man in her past. Devin, absolutely, I believe Devin loves me, but that doesn't mean that she has never loved another man or men. That's just the way of it. It is what it is. However, when you're dealing with a woman who tells you she loves you and she does it really, really soon, your question was, is it really real? So when a woman tells you she loves you, you want to know what your answer should be? Prove it. That's it. Prove it. Oh, I love you so much. Oh, you love me? Yes, I do. All right, prove it. Prove it. Make her prove that she loves you. Well, what can I do to prove that I love you? If I have to tell you what you have to do to prove to me that you love me, then you don't really love me. And then leave the conversation there. Now, if she does love you, guess what? She will start to show you that she loves you. If she doesn't, she won't. And at that point, you'll know that she just told you she loved you to throw you off the scent. Like a lot of girls, especially when they're close to cheating, especially in new relationships, if she tells you she loves you after 3 weeks and you guys have been dating for 3 weeks, start paying close attention to what she's doing. When you tell her to prove it, if she loves you, she'll prove it. But if she doesn't, you'll notice that she's checking on her phone more. She's going to the bathroom with her phone. It'll be very, very easy to figure out whether or not she really loves you. But yeah, I can understand how it can be very frustrating to take a woman seriously when she tells you that she loves you, just understanding how women are today. I totally get it.
Yeah.
All right, Dwayne. Well, thanks for checking in, man. And listen, I appreciate the support over the years, man. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, man, it's no problem. I'm glad to do it, man. You guys are speaking real truth that needs to be told, because these guys out here, man, are just, like, running around like chickens with their heads cut off, man. Like, they don't know what to do.
No, they don't, man. And we're here to set them straight.
I appreciate you guys, Dom. You have a good one.
Appreciate that. Dwayne in Mississippi checking in. It's always cool to get, it's always cool to talk to someone who's been listening and watching me for a while. Let us go to Joe in Ontario, California. You have a very interesting question. When at the lowest point is still within your right to leave a woman. Explain that for me, would you?
Yes. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. So my question is because it's personally about me.
Okay.
Basically, at one point in my life, I was in a relationship of 5 years at the time, and I lost my job. I was disabled because of my job, and they let me go. And because of my loss of job, obviously I have no income. Even though I got I forget what it's called. Basically, some kind of money for the disability.
Yeah, unemployment.
It's not enough to last. Well, no, it was for the injury. It wasn't unemployment.
Okay.
But anyways, so I'm at my lowest. I was gaining a lot of weight. I got really fat. Just everything negative. My best, it's kind of a personal thing, but my best friend died because he killed himself, unfortunately.
No.
So that took a shock to me, and like I said, now I'm at my lowest, my low. I'm depressed. I'm fat. I'm a typical slouchy gamer kind of guy, which is drowning in gaming. Well, then comes my girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
And at first she was like, I love you, and I want to, take care of you, whatever. But, kind of realizing over it all, she never really did anything besides, just say I love you every once in a while. We weren't living together at that point. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up my story. So, basically, she would just say that.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I'll get to see her, and and eventually it got frustrating to me. Well, eventually I find out that she was flirting with another man, and she had secret Snapchat conversation with him.
Okay.
And at that point, I'm giving her like Myron has said in Fresh Fit, we give women the benefit of doubt.
Sure.
And here I am, thinking, well, it's a one-time thing. We've been dating for this long. We've known each other for this long. Blah blah blah, whatever. And my question is, even though I was on my lowest of lows, fat, unemployed, not doing anything for work because of my depression, whatever, was it still within my right to go ahead and dump her? Even though here I am as a man, not doing my best, but she's here entertaining another man.
Yeah. You should, number one, it's within your right to dump a woman for whatever reason you see fit. I think a lot of guys foolishly believe, and I'm not saying that this is you, but a lot of men, like Eric in North Carolina, he foolishly believes that he actually needs proof to prove that his wife is cheating on him to give him a reason to divorce her. Wrong. If your inkling is telling you that some shit is going on that should not be going on, then pull the ripcord. I'll also tell you this. And let's just be clear, she's probably cheating on you. You can't prove it, but if she's snapping with a guy and you only see her every once in a while, I can almost guarantee you that she's fucking that guy. The only reason why she's Snapchatting him is, of course, I think because Snapchats are automatically, I think they're deleted or whatever the case may be. If you think your woman could be cheating, she always is. Whatever you find out about, like, let's say you find some text messages, right? Oh my God, these are some flirty text messages. Trust me, his dick has been in her at some point in time, probably fairly recently. Girls are very, very good at not only cheating, but getting away with cheating. Now, in terms of now, here's the thing. If she was going to, if you don't dump her, eventually she is going to dump you. Why? Because you're a shell of who you used to be. Now, we can sit here and reprimand her for, well, you know what? He used to be one way, but he got hurt, and now he's on disability. She should be with him through thick and thin. No, she shouldn't, Joe, because let me ask you something. Let's say your girlfriend went through the same thing. She got hurt, she went on disability, and she got fat. Wouldn't you want to dump her?
I would say yes now, but at the time, she kind of went through her own thing. So at the time, no, because, you know, I felt sympathetic for her. But
right, but here's the thing, Joe.
To you,
I get it. Listen, hold on, Joe.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because the man in you has some sort of morality, like you're trying to be sympathetic. Listen, I don't want to dump her at her lowest point. And dude, kudos to you for thinking of her too. But what you have to understand, Joe, is that women don't think this way about us. Women, and this doesn't make them evil or sadistic, but what you have to understand, Joe, is that women, before anything else, are survivors. And it manifests itself with their decisions. This is why women never feel bad when they dump a guy at his lowest point. Now, your girlfriend probably wants to dump you. She probably wanted to dump you a long time ago, but she probably felt sympathetic because, well, what would it look like if I were to dump him at his lowest point? So what she's doing now is she's fucking somebody else on the side and waiting for you to quote-unquote screw up to give her a reason to dump you. I'm telling you this right now, as sure as I'm sitting here right now, Joe, your girlfriend she is going to break up with you one way or the other. She might just ghost you. She might allow you to catch her. She might allow you to catch her cheating. She is going to make it clear to you through her actions that she does not want to be with you anymore. You have to understand that is coming. It starts with the Snapchats, then all of a sudden you're not hearing from her for 2 to 3 days at a time. At this point, you need to chart, and listen, it's not going to be easy because I know you've been with her for 5 years. You love her, and she probably on some level loves you too. But the minute you ceased to become who you were before the injury, she was already on her way out. And guess what, Joe? That doesn't make her a bad person. That makes her a survivor. Right now, you're overweight, you're disabled, you play and you play video games all day. That's not something a woman wants to be attached to. So while we can sit here and dog her for leaving you at your lowest point, it doesn't appear that you're doing much, really, of anything, to keep your value up.
90 seconds.
Yes. And I forget if I mentioned it, but this was like years ago. I'm in a much better place now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, never mind. Maybe you were, right? Okay.
No, but it is true. Everything you've said right now is literally true. Because she was putting me in situations that it seems like, why are you forcing me to argue with you? Why are you forcing me to have confrontations with you?
Right.
And overall, what you're saying is true. Because what it seems like is she wanted to dump me. And she didn't want to feel like the bad guy, so she wanted to put me in positions to be the bad guy. Like, yes. you need to dump me because I don't want to look bad. Kind of thing.
And listen, this is just the way girls are, and it's interesting. I had no idea that you were not in that situation anymore. So this happened years and years ago, yet you and I just sat here and predicted to the letter exactly what she just did. And so when you're at your lowest point, and again, and don't get me wrong, man, it is not easy to not be angry at a woman for leaving you at your lowest point. Trust and believe. I know how that feels, but once you get a little bit older and you understand women for who and what they are, that doesn't make it hurt any less.
10 seconds.
And don't worry, we still have plenty of time. That doesn't make it hurt any less, but at least you understand. Okay, it was probably nothing personal. She fell out of love with me, clearly, because I was not the person that I used to be. And women are allergic to accountability. They never want to look like the bad guy. So of course she was going to give you unpassable shit tests or try to argue with you so that she could find a reason to dump you without feeling guilty about it. That's all there was to it. And guess what, Joe? This was nothing personal, because my guess is that if you stayed who you were for the duration of the relationship, you guys might even still be together. But because women are designed to survive, which means that they need to attach themselves to the most able-bodied men that are available to them, this is why things happen the way they happen. Joe, you still with us?
Yes, that was all very true. Yeah, I'm sincere. My bad.
No, that's okay. I'll give you the last word.
I was just taking everything you said.
No, I understand. So yeah, I'll give you the last word, man. What are your final thoughts on this situation? Well, let me ask you this before I let you go. What's your situation right now?
My situation now is much better. I went, and the first thing I did with when she dumped me, right, is I got my shit together. I didn't talk to her. I left my social media because I didn't want to, see stuff that she possibly might have seen, which did happen.
Okay.
There was stuff that was said on social media that I knew for a fact that would have hurt me in the long run. That would have hurt my progression. And so I focused on myself. I went to therapy, got counseling for about 6 months. I went to the gym. And, now I'm a senior tech at my company.
Wow.
And I'm making a lot of good money. And right now, the only situation due to past things in my life, I'm still dealing with a car situation.
Yep.
But other than that, my finances is good. I finally got a credit card again.
Good.
That's going good. But the only thing that really sucked is, that kind of, did still hurt was, 3 months or 4 months into it, I started hearing all this, crap, she's talking so much shit about you and all this other stuff.
Right. Yeah. Again,
and
this is
that
just women
really
being women.
really hurt. Yeah.
No, I get it. And again, it's hard not to take it personally, but you can't worry about that. Easier said than done. I know, I get it, but women are going to be women, man. Okay, so she talked shit about you. All right, fine, whatever. Maybe she's feeling herself, whatever the case may be. But how old are you now, and how old is she now?
I'm 33 now, about to be 34, and so she should be coming on in her 30s now.
There you go. There you go. She's hit the wall, and you are at the dawn of your sexual prime. So, yeah, there you go. In the end, you're going to win. The one thing that I would advise you absolutely not to do, don't take her back. Even though it wasn't her quote-unquote fault that she left, listen, man, and I'll use the girl shit. Listen, if you didn't want to stick with me when I was going through a tough time, I'm not just going to take you back when I'm doing good now. Fuck that. No way. No way.
Yeah,
listen, we can acknowledge a woman's true nature. That does not mean that we have to adhere to their ever-changing schedules.
Yes. I definitely learned that, and it's kind of funny too because I actually went to a YouTube dating coach that said, it was get your ex back kind of thing. And even though I was trying to learn about how to get my ex back, what I ended up learning was our conversation now, understanding the situation, what was going on, why it was going on, and then I realized, hey, I just need to leave this alone, especially after the fourth month of being away from her, not talking to her, like I said, trying to make sure I did have the optimum amount of chances with her back, right?
Right.
But then after going back and seeing all this, hearing all this stuff from our mutual friends, like, hey, she's saying all this stuff to you about you online and stuff, I realized, as much as I'm not the man, I'm a husk of the man I used to be, she is now not anything to the woman I used to love and adore. The woman I loved and adore would never say these things about me.
There you go. There you go,
so
man.
At that point, I stopped ever trying to go back on looking for those chances.
Good. You got better. She didn't. That's what this comes down to. And the older you get, the wider that gap is going to become in terms of your sexual market value. So, yeah, listen, man, sometimes we got to take L's early to get W's later, man. And it sounds like you are the quintessential example of that. So congratulations, Joe. I appreciate the comeback story.
Thank you. And I guess to add, kind of brag a little humble brag, is twice I've lost 60 pounds. 60 pounds initially from the breakup, and then COVID happened, and then I gained it back stupidly. And then I went back and got it. Went and got my shit together again. And as far as fitness goes, everything else is still going good.
Good.
But
Good.
I went and got back on my fitness, and I lost another 60 pounds.
So technically, you lost 120 pounds, right? It was the same 120 pounds, but it was 120 pounds nonetheless.
Yes.
I'll give you the win for that, Joe. Thanks for calling in, man.
You too. All right. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. I like hearing stories like that, man. I do. And we're going to come to Loop in Texas here right after this. But yeah, I like hearing stories like that. I like hearing guys who have had negative experiences. Women, hey, Donovan, I was downtrodden. I was this. I was that. She dumped me. She did whatever the case may be. But hey, it hurt. But I stayed away from her. I got my shit together, and now I'm better off. Love to hear those kinds of stories, man. Love to hear those kinds of stories. Okay, final call of the day. Let us go to Loop in Texas. Loop in Texas. What's going on, brother? How you doing? I don't want to get a community strike. I don't know what song that was. So I was told that Loop wanted to thank me for my content. So I didn't want to put myself at risk there. Loop in Texas, when you call next time, make sure we don't have the elevator music on. Hopefully that doesn't give me any trouble on that. Excellent. Fantastic show today. I'm going to take about a 10-minute break. I'm going to take, shout out to Unique79 with the $14 Cash App. Says, this is why women are fickle and not special. Bingo, man. This is why women are fickle and not special. Dre Raven said, Michael McDonald, hold music. Yeah, listen, that's still copyrighted material. Ain't nothing wrong with Michael McDonald. Listen, baby. Casual Germ says, intro music to 80s porn scene. Yeah, maybe. You guys know how that goes. That is going to do it for this, the 784th edition of TSR Live. Thank you to all of the super chatters. My thanks goes out to my snipers and my sharpshooters in the chat. F-Boy Island Breakdown next, right after the show. Go to sharpstream.com to download the app today. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Get thousands of hours of content not found anywhere on patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Link in description. it.